Welcome to this evening's episode of Beyond Focus TV. I'm your host, Lydia Patel, and I have a very special guest for you, Witnez Volcy, who's the CEO of Solutions Management Group. He'll be with me for the next 30 minutes, so keep it right here. You're watching Beyond Focus TV. Beyond Focus TV allows you to discuss contemporary topics affecting the Caribbean people on both a national and local level. The show features informed guests who offer insight, debate, and evaluate various issues. Beyond Focus TV builds on the station's mission to provide useful information to the Caribbean people in New York and abroad. Beyond Focus TV, where our viewing audience can get educated, informed, and empowered. Welcome back. You're watching Beyond Focus TV. I'm your host, Lydia Patel, and like I said, my very special guest for the evening is none other than Witnez Volcy, who's the CEO of Solutions Management Group. It's tax time, and he's going to be definitely sharing some insights with us. Witnez, welcome to Beyond Focus TV.
Good afternoon, good morning.
Good evening and all that good stuff.
All good stuff. Pleasure being here.
It's a pleasure to have you on the program, and right about now, it's a good time to be an accountant, I would say.
Well, it's a beautiful time.
And it's probably the most grueling time for you as well, you know.
It's the time that you don't sleep at night.
Yes, because this is when you don't hear from accountants usually throughout the year for most people.
That's
and
correct.
Then January comes, W-2s are going out.
You need them.
And then we have to need somebody like Witnez. So why don't you tell us about solution management and how this all got started?
Well, first, it's a long story if I want to tell you exactly how you started, because it's been a long time. But we've been... since 2000, we've been, and then we're still at 1112 Flatbush as the main office, and we are a small business that started it out of my living room and make it a franchise. Well, we're working very, very hard to please every single person that walks into our office, and then from now on, we've been here about this year it's going to be 14 years.
That's great. And so you started it in your living room. That's something as the main office. You know, you started one little vision. And what made you decide to go into a franchise?
Well, you know, the dream is always high. You know, you always set your goal very high to see, you know, where you can reach. When I started it, you know, I started, like I said, at my house. And, you know, as, you know, the year progresses, and I moved to Flatbush. First of all, I moved to St. John's. We stayed there about a year or two, and then I moved down to Flatbush, and I've been there since. It's on, you know, on Flatbush between Clarendon and Cortelyou. And then we have several offices also that to serve people from all over, like in Queens and Long Island. So we still have offices over there too.
So you pretty much cover a lot of ground. You got Brooklyn covered, you got Queens covered, you got Long Island covered. So
that is correct, yes.
That is great. So what about some of the other services? On top of being an accountant, I know Solution Management has a whole array of services that you offer.
Well, we do offer a real estate, and then you know, real estate and mortgages also. Since you know, things are very difficult now, we're looking to help people that unable to get the mortgage, or people that willing to unable to sell their home. We'll try give it a try to sell it for them. So we do that also. And as I said, it's franchise. We have our own software. So people that do not have a software want to try us also, they can call us, and then we'll give them the software. You know, we have a software that's solution management software that we could bring, and so we do that also. And then
very good.
We sometimes we have a school. You know, we give classes of tax classes too. But now, if you not too late, and then you're looking for a software, and then you can always call us, and the price is really low. It's not the same as the price that if you call somebody else on the market. And then solution management will provide that also.
So what type of software, for everyone at home who may not even be familiar with what the software could do, why they would even need this?
Oh well, because nowadays, you need a software if you want to do on an e-file, and then basically most people now use software for tax, for to doing their taxes faster. It's less problems. You make less mistakes, and that's what everybody use. So we at Solution Management, we have our own. It's not like we have software pro series or something like that. We have our own solution management software that we have, so we can distribute to other people.
So you try to keep everything in-house.
We try our best.
That's great. So I'm going to hit you with a question that everybody wants to know about, hot topic. What are some ways that we could save a little bit? What are some tips? I know it's a big question.
Yeah, it's a big question. It's a long question also, because there's a different way that you can save on taxes. First, foremost, if you have a job that will allow you to have a 401k, I think the best thing to do, you maximize that 401k, because it's at the end of the year, that's money that you save until that you reach age 59 and a half, you can withdraw that money. And there's a lot of different ways that you can save, but I will leave it the next time I'll talk to you about it.
That is great. So you've been doing this for quite some time now. How many people are on your team?
Well, we have a lot of people on our team, because you remember that we don't have only one office. We have several. So we have several people on our team, and then it's a good team and it's the best team, and we always we're here now to help people, and then tax time now everybody's dedicated to help our client. So we we open at 9 o'clock in the morning, and we don't have a closing time, because through 3 o'clock in the morning we still have people walking through the door, and we're still serving those people.
That is something that definitely I'm going to let everyone know to take advantage of. We'll get your contact information at the end of the program. But Beyond Focus actually serves so many people in the community. English Caribbean, French Caribbean. Do you offer services in more than one language?
Yes, we are. First of all, we are multicultural office. We're not a Haitian establishment. We an establishment that deal with everybody, because our clientele is not only the Haitian community. Our clientele is based on all the Caribbean, including whites and blacks and Chinese, Japanese, anybody else. If you come on a tax time to our office, you will see the diversity of people that come through our doors.
All right. Well, that's very good. So I'm getting the signal that we got to wrap this up. We have a second segment coming up right here on Beyond Focus TV. My guest, Witnez Volcy of Solution Management Group. It is tax times, everybody, and you're going to want to get all the tips on how to save money. So keep it right here. You're watching Beyond Focus TV.
Worked hard this year, so let Solution Management Group take the hassle out of filing your taxes. We'll navigate the ins and outs of new tax laws and evaluate changes in your personal circumstances that can affect your return. We offer anticipation loans and instant refunds on federal and qualifying state returns. Just bring your W-2s in the morning and pick up your check in the evening. Call 877-TAX-RAPID. That's 877-829-7274 for a Solution Management Group location near you.
Welcome back. You're watching Beyond Focus TV. I'm Lydia Patel, and I've got Witnez Volcy of Solution Management Group right here. He is the man of the hour, and I think accountants are the most important people, at least you could say till March.
Until April.
Till at least April or March.
Yes.
April 15th.
April 15th.
Because that is the cutoff, everybody. April
That's right.
15th, 2014, you're going to have your taxes submitted. So this is the time that everyone's coming in now. They're bringing in their stuff. Let's talk about people who have a combination of W-2s, 1099s. They may have a regular job. They do some work on the side. What are some tips that we could really maximize all of this if you've done various employments?
First and foremost, what I always ask people to do is just wait for all of your papers, because usually if you have a W-2, sometimes we forget that we worked at a place prior to that, so that that place will give you a 1099 or W-2, and then we can file the tax before, I mean, without using those, and at the end of a year or two later, and then you will receive a letter from IRS and say that there's one of your income that wasn't reported. So the first thing that you have to do is just, if you have a bank, you got to wait until the bank send you that 1099. That's for the interest. Sometimes you have a work that you use. You have a 401k. Usually there's some kind of little investment, even though that you don't know is making any money. But you do need to wait until they send you those copies. Or if you don't have the time, you can call them. They will give it to you. With for the 1099, the W-2s, actually the W-2s will come, and also if you have a mortgage, usually you have to wait until the bank sends you the mortgage interest. Everything else, you have to wait for every single papers, right?
Because that could affect it, right?
That will affect you later on. There's one thing that I've seen people, because for the last 3 years, a lot of people went into debt, and then sometimes the bank forgive those debt, but at the end of the year they send you a 1099-C, which means that some of the debts become your income. So usually most people don't know those things; they just throw it away. And after a year or two, IRS starts sending them papers, letters. So all those things you have to remember. Your unemployment, if you were unemployed for the year, you have to wait until you get that that unemployment papers.
Okay.
So all those papers you have to wait. Don't rush to do anything, because things started the 31st of January. You're gonna have plenty time to gather together your papers and then bring it into us, and then we'll be more than happy to help you, get the most out of your money.
Now, what are the realities of claiming a child? Because you hear different numbers thrown out there. Oh, if you claim a child, you're going to get this amount. And if you claim a child, you get this amount. You got the tax man right here.
Well, first of all, let me tell you, if a child doesn't live with you, forget about it. Don't file with the child. Because, I don't know, for some reason, they're cracking down on that.
Yes.
That's the earned income credit, which is the one that gives people the most money. Because if you have a low income, such as from 13 up to 27 or $28,000, and you have 2 children or 3 children, you're going to make a killing. So IRS is cracking down on those things. So if the child doesn't live with you, forget about it. Don't claim the child. If you claim it, you're in trouble. You're prompt to have a trouble. Second of all, if you live with a child, you have to prove that you give her at least 6 months of taking care of that child.
Okay.
Support the child. If you cannot prove that, if you cannot prove that the doctors of the child probably know you, the school of the child probably, knows you and things like that. I mean, even though they didn't know you, you have to be related to the child. You have to prove that the child lives with you, and then you support the child. Otherwise, there's no way, because there's a due diligence that we as tax preparer, we need to do, because we are going to ask you questions about it. If you're unable to answer the question, we're not going to file your taxes with a child. That's
really
simple.
Good, because I hear all the time of people claiming a child that doesn't live with them.
Yeah.
And most times you haven't gotten caught. But like you said, they are cracking down.
They're cracking down on these things literally. And then not only that, you as taxpayer paying for it, but we as tax preparer are paying for it also too. Because they will penalize us too. Because they want us to do that due diligence. Because if you cannot prove to us that the child resides with you, we shouldn't file your taxes with the child. We have to let you be aware of that from the get-go.
Now, what about single filing versus married filing, or having that deduction that says married but claiming at a higher single rate?
Okay, a single, when you're single, you get a tax a higher rate. But if you're married, it's best for you. If you don't have any children, the best for you to file married filing jointly, because either way, if you file married filing separate, because you both gonna do a higher rate anyway. So I mean, if you married, I always advise some people, if you married, either you file single, which you file married filing jointly. I think is the best way to do it. Some couples do not do it because you might find one taxpayer owes money to the IRS or school loan or things like that, but you can still file jointly and then use the injured spouse, a form that will take your share of a return being paid to you, and the other share for your spouse, if he owes, they will take it. So I think it's best way to do it right, do it nice, because it's better.
Now, what about married couples who are legally married? They don't live together. I've had this question sent to me after I said that, I'll have an official tax person on the show. So one of the questions is, they're legally married still. Should they file jointly, not file jointly? We'll hold that thought.
Yes.
We'll get to that coming back right after the break. You're watching Beyond Focus TV with Witney Volcy, CEO of Solutions Management, right here on the program. Stay with us.
Chita pou n'tande, marche pou nou sa ka pase dans solution management. Saison taxe la sous pied, pour crime bloqué Long Island, suis dans mouvement tendé.
Dans solution yo n'a point côté pour virer. Caribéen yo campé derrière expérience Volcy.
L'esprit partage, yon coloco, personne pas qu'à négocier. Bayo Volcy, bayo Medjin, bayo Pina, bayo Piti, bayo.
Welcome back. You're watching Beyond Focus TV. I'm Lydia Patel. So, Witney, as we were saying right before the break, married couples, let's say you're separated or you're still legally married and they want to file separately. Is that a possibility?
Well, you can still file separately. As I said, it's legal to be married filing separately, but there's a difference. People tend to confuse. When you married filing separately, or you say, oh, I'm filing separately as a head of household. That's no. If you married, you have to file separately. It's legal. But if you married and then you're filing separately from your husband or from your spouse, either your husband or your wife, you cannot use head of household. That's no.
Okay.
You have to file married filing separately. But if you legally separated or you legally divorced, now you can file whichever way you want, which is if you single, you have no dependents, you do single. If you have a dependent, whether the dependent is your mom, father, uncle, children,
really?
Yes, you can file head of household. So it's very confusing. I want people to understand that. It's very, very confusing. You're not going to do or married and then you do head of household, the other one file a single or head of household, both.
You both can't be head of household.
No, you can't do that. You can't do that. It's married filing separate. You know, that's a legal way to do it. Or if you, like I said, the best thing to do, married filing jointly will be the best advice that I can personally give it to you. So, but there's so many other reasons people cannot file married filing jointly, as I mentioned prior. But anyway, I think it's best thing to do. Make sure that when you sit down with your accountant, and I will hope that it's me, So you ask question, I ask you a question, and then you answer the question properly. You answer my questions, so we will do the best way to avoid you pay penalty later on.
Now, what about coming in and doing consultation with you? Let's say any of our viewers are interested in coming in. What would be the first step to take if they're interested in filing with you?
Well, the first thing to do, they have to bring in all of their papers. Usually, I ask if you had filed last year previously, and if you can have a copy of your last year returns, you can bring it over. So what I'll do, I'll sit down with you and go over all the different ways that can save you some taxes. So, and then usually I take sometimes, I usually take sometimes to speak with you and help you out to move forward. Yes, all your papers together, and ID, I might add. You have your ID, and then we'll go from there.
Absolutely. Now, it's the time where we're going to let everyone know how to get in contact with you. So, phone number, email address, website, let's get to it.
Well, I'm sorry that I said that I didn't receive a email from info@solutionmg.com. I'm going to look into it tonight. But my name is Witnez Volcy. I'm CEO of Solution Management. Like I said prior, we've been in the business for over 14 years now, and then we're located at one location, which is 1112 Flatbush Ave, between Clarendon and Cortelyou. Our main office, it's 718-462-4200, 718-462-4200. If you need, you remember this number, and then if you're in Long Island or you're in Queens, you don't remember the other numbers, you can call this number, and then we will route you to that number. And then, as I said, my email address is Whitney@solutionmg.com. There's spelled WITNEZ @solutionmg.com. Or you can, like I said, you can text me 347-405-0500. 347-405-0500. I wish everybody a happy new year, and make sure that you bring all your papers.
Well, that's great, because it is tax time. A lot of people want to come out, and there's still a lot of people who don't have an official accountant. They've been doing other types of filing, but I still prefer the individual touch as well. So what has been one of the most difficult challenges, you could say, in the last few years, even with changes coming? There's so many different things, and you have to keep abreast with that as well.
Well, as a professional, you have to at least every year, because the IRS always give what you call it again, forum that you attend to know what's new in a business. So if you want to continue to upgrade yourself, you have to go and do that. And every year before tax season starts, you can go online on their irs.gov, and then you look for the new rules and regulation concerning tax for the season. Tax changing every year. As you know, now this year is about Obamacare and things like that.
Yes.
So all those things are changing every year. So you have to be abreast of everything that's going on, so you can help your clients to the best of your ability. So it's always a research. And then we have, this is what we do for a living. So we have we make time, I should say, to get ahead of the game. Yes.
Anything in particular that you could let us in on that's definitely changed? Be like, no, that does not apply anymore.
Well, as I said to you nowadays you cannot just put anything on a tax return as it used to be the custom on some of us. Well, we can't do that anymore. We have to prove to the government that if we say something, we mean it, and we have proof to show it to them. So the thing that used to do, people can see the change that always happened in tax industry. Not only in tax industry, it's all over the place. There's with the technology and things like that. Things do change, and then you have to change in with it. So that's the reason why at Solution Management we always advise people to come to see us, because we're always changing. We always make the new technology, so to help you to get the most out of your money. That's the reason why we want you to call us.
And, once again, because we always let everybody know, give us the contact information again. You don't have a Facebook page, right?
I have.
Oh, well, let us know what the Facebook page is.
We have a Solution Management Facebook. On Facebook, we have Twitters, and we have Instagram. We're all over the place.
So you're well connected.
Our telephone is 718-462-4200. 718-462-4200.
Well, Whitney, thank you so much for being our special guest this evening. Really enjoyed our conversation, getting all the one-on-ones and all the information about tax time, because this is the season. And remember, April 15th is your deadline. So gather up all your papers, and you could definitely go see Whitney Volcy, who is the CEO of Solutions Management, and he'll take the time to help you out. If you have any questions or comments, don't forget to send us an email at info@beyondfocusmedia.com. I'm your host, Lydia Patel. I hope you enjoyed the program, and I'll be with you again next week, same time, same place. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Beyond Focus TV. Beyond Focus TV show wants and needs your feedback. Did we blunder? Please let us know so we can improve. Was the show helpful to you? Drop us a note so we can share the success with our staff members. Is there something you think we could do better? We welcome new ideas and new approaches to old ideas. Do you have a great suggestion? Let us know and we'll work on it. If you would like to share your comments anonymously, please send us an email at info@beyondfocusmedia.com. If you want to get in touch with the executive producer directly, send him an email at gene@beyondfocusmedia.com. We really look forward to hearing from you.